Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? I say this all the time. Coaches have coaches, and don't ever work with one who doesn't. And I have a coach for literally everything: fitness, my voice, mindset, business. There's a couple more, and podcasting. I have a podcasting coach, right? So the whole nine. I have someone or someone's multiple people in my life who I always can look to mentorship. Now, that also includes books. Like I seriously read this year. I'm on pace for about 64 books. I could get more. We'll see what happens. And so books are a great source for data, for information, to be a learner, as well as YouTube and even podcasts. And so what I'm always trying to do is consume information in a way that helps me make more thought out and practical decisions. I've tried to move away from this idea of making mistakes by being vehemently stubborn because it costs time, effort, energy, and money. And often my stubbornness would set me back instead of projecting me forward. Now, I do think there is space again for being stubborn or having your mind made up and not allowing people's opinions in, especially when it comes to your intuitions, because you really have to learn to trust yourself again. But stepping into this idea of growth means that you can adapt other people's thoughts, feelings, or emotions around a certain situation and make meaning of them in a way that could help transform your life. And when I started getting into this idea of a growth mindset and really doubling down on it, if I had a singular word to describe the difference that made the most change in my life during this journey, it would be growth. Growth. And growth to me at this time, speaking in this moment, is how big can I go? Not only in like business, but in career and life and relationships and friendships and community and volunteering and in foundations and charities and talking to people and podcasts. Like, how expansive can I make my life? How big can I go while allowing other people to interject? Now, I think that you have to have a lot of clarity and intention about the people that you are parlaying with in your life. And so vet them, do your research, make sure they fit, but also find the right books for you. Watch the right YouTube videos, listen to the right podcasts that are in alignment with the future that you're trying to create. One of the best things that you can do in your life is get really clear about big things. I talk about goals frequently and the idea that even I think often too small. One of my biggest missions is, can I help heal 250 million people despite generational trauma in the next 8 years? That goal is gigantic, right? And I recognize that's a huge undertaking, and I fully believe it's possible. And because I have a growth mindset, I'm always looking at, well, what tools can I bring into my life? More certifications, more education, more time speaking with people who are leading the way, who are subject matter experts, more time healing myself, more time in the gym, more time with my coaches, more time making sure that I'm taking care of myself and taking bits and pieces from the experts around me to adapt into my life. And then not only allowing that information to soak in, but using it. One of the big things that I try to do in my life is when I adapt new information is to deploy it as soon as I can. Because what good is a notebook if you're not going to write in it? What good is having a tool if you're not going to build a house with it? What good is shifting something in your mind and not doing anything with it? And so when you step into having this growth mindset and are willing to see what happens on the other side, the expansion of your life will be gigantic. So I want to tell you this. The most simplified way that I can think to kind of wrap this up today, because I want to keep it short, is this. Ask yourself this question. Do I have a fixed mindset? Am I limiting the possibility of my life because I've already predetermined all potential outcomes and no one or nothing is going to shift the way that I think? Or do you have a growth mindset and you're willing to ask hard questions and you're willing to take in data and you're willing to try different things and you're willing to show up even though you don't have all the answers? Because if you ask yourself this question, you're going to get really clear really fast on the trajectory of your life. You're going to cap out. On a long enough timeline, you will cap out potential if you have a fixed mindset. But when you have a growth mindset, for lack of a better term, the sky is the limit, my friends.